Hello everyone. Welcome to Daily Betterment, a channel for sharing knowledge and personal development through books. Today, I would like to share with you an incredibly useful book that will help you become a genius. Don't be surprised, this book is not exaggerating. It will truly give you the answer and method to transform from an ordinary person to an outstanding individual in any field, or even a master in a specific skill. This book is Peak Secrets from the New Science of Expertise, by two authors, K. Anders Ericsson, a Swedish psychologist and professor at Florida State University, and Robert Pool, a science writer. Now let's explore the content of this book together. When we talk about geniuses, we often think of musical prodigies like Mozart. At only 7 years old, Mozart organized a large concert that amazed the whole world of music. But what's even more astonishing is that at the age of 4, he could already distinguish different sounds and melodies. This ability, which is still considered extremely rare today, is estimated to occur in only 1 out of every 10,000 people. Mozart's talent is a perfect example when it comes to discussing geniuses. We often talk about innate talent, and people tend to believe that prodigies are those who are born with a natural ability that surpasses that of ordinary individuals. However, is this really the case? Dr. Ericsson's research has revealed the path to becoming a prodigy, just like Mozart. Mozart's remarkable achievements were not solely due to being born as a prodigy, but rather because he had a father who was a highly talented composer. His father also placed great importance on educating his children, starting with Mozart's older sister who, although not as successful, was also an artist. With more experience, his father then nurtured Mozart, leading to his ultimate success and fame. Therefore, Mozart's genius was a result of training, education, and practice from a very young age in the world of music. In the world of violin, the name Paganini is always associated with the title of prodigy. This story originated from a performance where 3 strings broke, yet he managed to complete the piece flawlessly with just 1 string. This event solidified his status as a legend in the history of music. However, the true version of this story is that he did it for the woman he loved, which inspired him to compose a piece for her. Amazing, with just 2 strings of a guitar, this mimics a sweet conversation between 2 lovers. After practicing this piece, he was able to successfully perform it even when 1 string broke, thanks to his previous practice. Through the author's research, it has been discovered that people often perceive geniuses as those who are born with superior abilities. This is because of the asymmetrical information that is spread and our fascination with mysterious stories. However, advertisers tend to focus on shocking scenes and overlook daily details, leading us to believe that geniuses are naturally better than others. And they succeed without much effort. But in reality, all geniuses have one secret to becoming better than others: deliberate practice. The difference between them and ordinary people is that they follow a systematic method to constantly push beyond their comfort zone and expand their circle of competence. While the author does not deny the role of genetics, his research has debunked this belief and shows us that we are not too far from being geniuses ourselves, as long as we put in intentional practice. Knowing how to train purposefully gives you the opportunity to become different and outstanding. That's why the first thing is to believe that with the right training method, we can definitely become excellent and superior. There are 4 conditions for effective training that you may have noticed when learning a new skill. Usually we follow these basic steps. First, we will understand what we need to do. Then we will start learning from a teacher, school, coach, book, or website. After that, we will begin practicing until we reach an acceptable level and can use the skill automatically. However, it is important to understand that once we reach a satisfactory level, it becomes difficult to make further progress. We often misunderstand this and think that if we continue to practice regularly with our existing skills, we will definitely improve, even if it is slow progress. But in reality, we are still on the path of development. For example, we often assume that a doctor with 10 years of experience will be better than one with 5 years. Or a teacher with 20 years of experience will be better than one who has been teaching for 5 years. However, research in this book shows that this is not always the case. Once your proficiency has reached an acceptable level and it can be converted to automation, practicing for a few more years will not significantly improve your skills. Even experienced doctors or teachers with 10-15 years of experience may not necessarily be better than those who have only been working for 5 or 7 years, because without intentional improvement, the automatic skills that you have trained before will gradually deteriorate. Therefore, to truly excel, we must have the intention to practice with purpose and conscious desire to break out of this level of automation and train with purpose. So how do we practice with purpose? Here, we need to understand 4 important characteristics of purposeful practice. First, having specific and clearly defined goals. Just like in anything we do, we need to have a final goal in mind, and our purposeful practice should also start with that. First, you need to have a big goal, which is a long-term goal, and then practice in small steps to reach that long journey. In other words, we should break down our goals into smaller ones. In his book, the author conducted an experiment on memory training where the participants, who were initially able to remember about 8 numbers, were able to improve through practice each time. Identifying and breaking down goals gradually has helped him improve his abilities each time, starting with remembering 9 numbers, then 10 numbers, and so on. Eventually, he achieved an incredible feat of being able to remember 82 numbers. Breaking down goals also serves as a process for self-evaluation and improvement, leading to personal breakthroughs. Another key aspect is the need for focus, as mentioned in previous videos such as Steve Jobs' Secret to Success, which emphasizes living simply and concentrating on the present moment. This is crucial in achieving a state of flow, which leads to success and a better life. The author also stresses the importance of complete focus on one task at a time, whether it be practicing a skill or any other activity. Lastly, receiving feedback is essential in any endeavor. Without taking a step back to reflect and evaluate our progress, we cannot identify areas for improvement and reach our full potential. Therefore, it is necessary to constantly assess ourselves and make adjustments along the way towards our ultimate goal. Practice a skill by finding a mentor or coach. A mentor is not just someone who teaches and guides you, but also someone who can provide objective feedback for you to make quick progress. However, if we don't have the luxury of having a mentor, we must find ways to self-reflect and self-correct. An important aspect of this is pushing past our comfort zone. This is a fundamental truth for any type of training. Without discipline and stepping out of our comfort zone, we will never make progress. Stepping out of our comfort zone means trying something new and uncomfortable, which may initially cause discomfort or fear. But once we overcome this obstacle, we will hold the key to successful training, believing in ourselves because our brain's adaptability is limitless. Ordinary people, when practicing, may encounter a state of stagnation, which means they feel they cannot develop any further. But for geniuses, that is not the case. You need to know that most of the so-called stagnation is psychological obstacles that you only imagine. It's a fact that you haven't reached your full potential because you lack the motivation to overcome challenges. Scientific research has revealed that our brain's adaptability goes beyond what we can consciously comprehend, even for an average person. A study conducted in London showed that the city's complex road system requires drivers to pass one of the most difficult tests in the world in order to obtain a license. This test requires them to accurately recall and name all important street names and also find the shortest route from point A to point B. Scientists studied the brains of London taxi drivers during this test and found that the area responsible for memory was significantly larger compared to before the test. Did you know that scientists used to believe that the adult brain was almost fixed? However, studies on taxi drivers and the visual cortex of blind individuals have proven otherwise. Our brains have an infinite capacity for adaptation, which is why world records are constantly being broken. In addition to our brains, our bodies also have a strong ability to adapt, although they tend to prefer stability. When one steps out of their comfort zone, the body system will feel pressure as its initial balance is threatened. Once the body begins to adapt to new changes, this balance will gradually be rebuilt. This can be compared to exercising. At first, the body may experience discomfort and struggle to adjust, but with consistent effort, it will transform and adapt to the challenges, resulting in better health, endurance, and physique. It is important to understand that our brain has limitless potential for adaptation. Therefore, we must have faith and motivation to train and push ourselves beyond our comfort zone, ultimately conquering our own limitations. The difference between an average person and a master lies in their mental attitude. In this book, the author emphasizes the importance of creating effective mental symbols through training, which is the key to success for exceptional individuals. The difference between ordinary people and experts is the difference in spirit symbol. In this book, we will see the Frazi spirit symbol, and it is especially important for the author to say that the main purpose of this section is to deliberate practice is about creating spirit symbol. Effective spirit means excellent people, experts. They are successful because they have better mental symbols than ordinary people, and especially they constantly practice and optimize these spiritual symbols. So what exactly are these mental symbols? In this book, it doesn't clearly explain the concept, but rather mentions that it is a structure of the mind. This left me very curious, so I went to research it and finally found its origin from cognitive psychology. This is a field that emerged in the 1950s, which focuses on studying how humans perceive and process information. Here, cognitive psychology has researched how we acquire and retain new skills or knowledge. They have come up with a model that includes receiving, processing, storing, and outputting information, whether it be in the form of a book, article, or video that you are currently listening to for daily betterment. These are all symbols that our brain processes and stores, becoming our internal symbols, also known as mental symbols. In other words, all the stored knowledge in our brain is our mental symbols. How many mental symbols do you have and what is their quality? It will determine. According to Bill Gates, the biggest difference between people is the difference in their level of consciousness. This difference in consciousness is the symbol of one's spirit, and throughout our lives, we are constantly searching for and perfecting these symbols in order to become more intelligent. When new knowledge enters our minds, it forms a final spiritual symbol which then determines how we understand that knowledge. This is why some people struggle to understand difficult subjects or books because they lack the necessary spiritual symbols to comprehend them. Each person's individual spiritual symbols also determine their level of consciousness. Therefore, it is important to have the right spiritual symbols in order to properly understand and filter new information based on our own experiences. Our level of consciousness will ultimately decide whether we accept or reject this new knowledge. This will lead to a more terrible consequence, which is that your brain will become closed and stubborn. There is a saying in the book that takes you as an example of how our brain operates. We selectively input only what we like to hear, see, and accept. This is why many people fall into a state of only reading books of the same genre they like or doing the same job for years without becoming outstanding. Because what is already in their brain, if not constantly updated, improved, or intentionally practiced, will become a hindrance on their learning path, hindering the development of their knowledge and skills. Here, I would like to quote the wise words of Steve Jobs. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Always keep yourself in a state of seeking knowledge. Don't think that you are already very smart. Don't limit yourself in perception or experience, and constantly train your mindset. This is the key to becoming talented, outstanding, and superior. So how do we apply intentional practice and live our lives? The author has studied many successful cases of extraordinary individuals and discovered that the usual way for them to become outstanding is through. There are 4 stages that you can apply in your life. The first stage is to create interest in exceptional people. From a young age, when we are still children exploring the world, our parents, siblings, or relatives inspire and guide us towards something, and we start practicing it as a game. This is the beginning of igniting passion within us. As for those who have passed the stage of childhood, you can also use this with your own children or for yourself by awakening interest in a skill or talent. Remember that all passions come from things we truly enjoy doing. In the second stage, once you have found something that interests you, you will naturally take on training seriously. The support and encouragement from parents and teachers are crucial for a child's progress, while for us, finding a mentor to provide feedback is important, as mentioned before. If you don't have someone by your side, find ways to self-reflect during the training process. The third stage is to focus all your energy. Generally, those who are successful are the ones who put all their effort into it. Excellent individuals often invest a lot at the age of 12, 13, or 15, 16. During this stage, they usually seek out mentors to continuously improve and enhance their knowledge and skills. Sometimes, not only do they devote all their efforts, but their families also have to invest a lot of money and effort with them. Therefore, for ourselves, how should we approach this stage? It is a time where you must focus all your mental and physical strength and time into something that you want to improve. And the final stage is to unleash your creativity. After reaching the highest level, we must constantly innovate and renew, just like how we always have to learn new spiritual symbols for ourselves. Above is the most concise summary from this book. Hopefully, today's video content will inspire you and provide you with a method to become an outstanding person in a field or skill of your own. Don't forget to find and read this book to understand it more deeply. Finally, I would like to end today's sharing with some keywords. First, awaken your passion. Second, awaken a job, a skill, or a talent that you truly love. And then apply the 3S principles from this book. In the end, always remember to stay hungry and stay foolish. Continuously strive to develop and improve yourself, both mentally and spiritually. And finally, let's all break free from any stagnation on the path we have chosen. Also, I wish you all a new year filled with discovering the most important things to focus on in order to intentionally become better in your field or acquire new skills that will make your efforts meaningful. Thank you for listening. If you found this video helpful, please share it with those who may need it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to watch our latest videos every week. Thank you, and see you in the next video.